Alright, you lot, here we go again. Another day, another batch of corporate clowns, frostbitten brilliance, and console warballocks. This is Gaming Hellwire, and today we're kicking teeth in on digital front lines. Let's go. First up, TIGA Game Industry Awards 2025. Or as I like to call it, Night LinkedIn Game. Over 300 VIPs stuffed into Hurlingham Club, sipping overpriced wine, clapping for each other like a GCSE class pretending to be humble. Big round of applause for Ghost Town winning Game of Year, and a bigger one for restaurants who had to sit through a neat weird best tax and accountancy firm was somehow a real fucking award. Honest to God, we're giving statues to accountants now. What's next? Best use of Microsoft Teams in a layoff announcement. Look, I get it. These awards are meant to big up industry. But when you got more categories for services and suppliers than actual games, you've lost plot. There are more games on that list I won't wish on a Unity Inter. But sure, let's give Death Stranding 2 a pat on back for best social game, whatever hell that means. Maybe they meant social in where Kojima's games make people pretend to understand them just to seem clever. To be fair, there were a few winners worth the salt. Fireproof Games, Ghost Town genuinely looks like it were made by people who still gear damn. Still Wex Deep took home 2, fair play, eerie brilliance. But don't let that distract you from the fact they also handed out a trophy for best recruitment agency. Imagine sitting through a 4-hour ceremony so Amicus can get a round of applause for hiring someone who'll be laid off in 9 months. UK games industry ain't lacking talent. It's drowning in backpacking suits handing themselves awards for not screwing up payroll. Until these galas stop looking like BAFTA cosplay with Gantt charts, they'll keep being what they are. Bloody echo chamber of beige PowerPoints and ego inflation. You want to celebrate real devs? Maybe start with ones not wearing lanyards and buzzwords as armour. Finally got a survival game that done told your hand. Give your pet chicken, or turn into Minecraft with Frostbite. ANGST, A Tale of Survival, has landed a free demo on Steam, and it looks like someone took Long Dark, laced it with existential dread, and threw it off a cliff into Polish limbo. You wake up in a place called Hollow. Sounds like an emo band. Feels like Siberia on meth. You've got naught but cold, wind, and whatever haunted bollocks stalks you at night. No mini-maps, no base building faff, just scavenge, craft, fish, freeze, and die. And here's kicker. Every time you die, you learn something new. Not some roguelike buzzword loop, actual mastery. Death teaches, skills evolve, you get better, or you get buried. Devs, cherry-pick games, aren't trying to sell you a season pass with snowmobile skin. It's a top-down single-player, no microtransaction bastard or a game that demands you to pay attention. Not to UI, not to XP bar, to ice under your feet and things snarling behind trees. And price? About £6. That's less than your average NFT scam. Visually it's grim, quiet, all thick forests and whispering blizzards. By day, you're foraging like a raccoon with a machete. By night, it's full horror survival, where even shadows look like they want to chew your kneecaps off. It's not pretty for the sake of screenshots, it's bleak because it wants you to suffer. And that's part I actually respect. It's not trying to make you feel good, it's trying to break you. That's what survival used to mean before it got smothered in sandbox menus and crafting treats size of IKEA manuals. Angst don't care if you're having fun, cares if you're still breathing. Get demo a spin, it might be called Angst, but it plays like a punched at lungs. In a good way. And if it holds up at launch next month, it'll be the first survival game in years that don't make me want to set my PC on fire out of boredom. Now then, Nintendo's been swinging lawsuits like Smash Bros. Special move, but this week, karma cracked them in ribs. US Patent Office, that slow-moving dinosaur of bureaucracy, actually stood up and said, hang on, maybe Nintendo shouldn't outrage to summon a sidekick in battle. Imagine that, a game mechanic older than broadband, and Nintendo tried to lock it in like it were fucking holy grail. See, back in September, Nintendo launched a lawsuit against Pocket Pair, Palworld devs, for infringing multiple patents. Big scary words. They wanted damages, an injunction, probably a blood sample. But now USPTO director, that top dog, has ordered a rare re-examination of Nintendo's shiny new patent for basic summon support system in 2 battle modes. Why? Because Konami filed something bloody similar in 2002. Nintendo even filed their own prior art in 2019. So either someone in Kyoto got greedy, or they forgot how time works. This isn't just some legal slap fight. If patent gets revoked, It could blow a gaping hole in Nintendo's entire lawsuit strategy. They've been going after Palworld like it murdered Pikachu, but if core mechanic they're screaming about weren't even theirs to begin with, they're going to have to pull out of that courtroom like Mario down a warp pipe. And they're trying to argue mods don't count as prior art. That's rich, coming from a company that sues fan games harder than Activision sues leakers. If you can't own someone in a sub-character cause someone else got there first, what's next? Suing kids for saying Pokemon out loud in public? Meanwhile, Switch 2 is smashing sales records. 10 million units already, profits through roof. You'd think they'd be focusing on making games good, but nah, they're still playing lawyer ball, hoping no one notices they've been releasing say Mario Kart for a decade. Nintendo's always had that family-friendly smile on art side, but under art, it's pure litigious venom. And this time, might backfire harder than a Joy-Con drift lawsuit. So, Bill Coon's at it again, crawling through PlayStation Network like a digital truffle pig, and what did he find? Cross-buy, hidden symbols, secret CSS files, Sony quietly slipping in tags for PS5 PC purchases without saying a bloody word. Cross-buy's coming. Maybe. Probably. But instead of announcing it like grown adults, they're acting like they're prepping for a surprise party no one asked for. Let's rewind. Xbox has had Play Anywhere for years. Buy once, play on console and PC. Clean. Simple. Not treated like a secret. Sony? They're busy hiding PS5 PC and cross-buy tags in the store back end like it's fucking Da Vinci Code. Why? Probably because they're not announcing it means they're actually honouring it. And they'd rather die than gear up a double dip sale on God of War Redux Director's Extended Remastered Gold Edition. To be fair, they used to do this back in PS3 Vita days. Remember that? You bought a game like Sly Cooper once, got it on both platforms. Job done. But now they've rebranded cross-buy like it's some revolutionary new feature they've invented for modern gamer, despite being a thing they killed off a decade ago. CSS tags were added back in June, quiet as a mouse. No blog post, no fanfare, no Jim Ryan hologram walking across PowerPoint stage saying, "We hear you." Just subtle signs buried deep in PlayStation site. Only visible if you dig through dev files or jam odd symbols on your PSN bio like a lunatic. Because transparency at Sony is like crossplay, exists only when they're forced into it at gunpoint. Now we wait. Is it PS5 to PC? Is it a test for a new handheld hybrid they're not telling us about? Or is it just a PR stunt they'll announce next summer and then sell back to us as premium feature bundled with LED status light? Whatever it is, one thing clear. Sony's watching Xbox lap them in consumer features, and instead of keeping pace, they're trying to sneak behind barn and scribble out a knockoff without anyone noticing. Nah, brace yourselves. Battlefield 6's devs just confirmed what everyone on PC's been screaming into the mic since launch. Aim assist is so busted it might as well come with an aimbot disclaimer. And now, after weeks of getting torn apart by controller players on RedSec, console design lead himself pops up on Twitter like, "Oh yeah, we're reverting back to open beta aim assist settings." That's you to show up, mate. Shame it took a community meltdown. What we've had since launch wasn't aim assist. It were aim domination, rotational stickiness so thick it could double as a glue trap. You'd peek a corner, get snapshotted by a thumbstick warrior halfway through the monster can, and wonder why you even bothered buying a mouse. Recoil reduction alone were giving controller players laser beams, while PC players had to fake the guns like they were wrestling eels. Now Matthew Nickerson says they're turning it back. Open beta settings had less stickiness, more control, fewer auto snaps. Translation? Maybe now gunfights won't feel like aimbot duels unless you're on console. They're also tweaking recoil reduction, which were a separate system, apparently. Oh, really? They thought nobody had noticed aim glue and gun glue were different systems. Genius. And get this, they're not resetting your input values. So even when they push update, current stick demons get to keep the comfort settings while everyone else relearns how to shoot. Equal footing, Battlefield style. Look, I'm not against controller support. Crossplay is great when it's fair. But when you've got pro-level auto-aim tucked behind a controller and devs pretending it's fine until community tears forums apart, it's not balance. It's deception. It's bait and switch with bullets. RedSec were already chaotic enough. Now it might just be playable. Assuming they fix this without wrecking 3 other systems in process, which knowing DICE's update history, it's fucking coin toss. And that's your daily Gaming Hellwire. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks? Drop your comments and questions below. Unless you're that one bloke defending rotational aim assist. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent.